Hey folks, welcome again to the channel. Juan here from Physical Media EU. Today we're going to do another 4K review, in this case Studio Canal Collector's Edition of Mulholland Drive. Hello again and thanks for tuning in for another review, in this case Mulholland Drive, released by Studio Canal in this beautiful Collector's Edition release. But before we start, I would like to invite you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, if you're interested in physical media, especially Blu-ray reviews and eventually sometimes also soundtracks on vinyl. You can also find me on Instagram with the same handle, Physical Media EU, where I post detailed pictures of all the items that I review. Now yes, we can begin with the review, and first of all I want to mention that Mulholland Drive also has Criterion release that I already have reviewed in the channel. You can find the link to the video here up in the corner. I will mention also some of the differences between the releases. But let's begin by taking a look at this beautiful release by Studio Canal. You can see here is a very hard box, very big, right? And there's not so much here. And then here on the back, this is just like a paper, kind of sort of like a J card or something. Well, not really J card, right? It's just like pasted on the back. I decided not to take it out because for what I can see, if I like lift it a little bit, is that the back of the case is also all blue, so there's nothing to reveal by removing this. But it's very big. You can see up here, compared to the Reservoir Dogs, which is one of the biggest ones there is virtually the same size. So let's open up. You can see it opens like this, and very nice detail is that this has a magnet that closes it. That's something when I did the review of Reservoir Dogs, I mentioned that one thing that box lacked was a magnet to keep it always closed. So now if we open this up, there's a set of art cards, a booklet, two posters, and of course the media book with the movie. So let's begin with the art cards first. So the first one is this exclusive design from Studio Canal that I think looks super good, but I have heard some criticism saying that it might not match the style of the movie. I'm not so sure about that. I still really like it. Then we have some stills here from the movie in these other art cards that, as you can see, they are not very thick. This is not carton, it's just like some thick paper. So the pictures look good, but I think like the quality could have been maybe a little better the quality of the paper, right? Now let's move on to the posters, and in a similar fashion, even though these posters have very good printing quality and they look great, I think the paper is so thin that makes them like very fragile. So this needs to be manipulated with a lot of care. And for example, if you have Arrow video release that comes with a poster, this is not that kind of paper. This is much thinner. And here is the other poster, you can see there, which also looks super good. So now moving on to the booklet. The booklet is written in German, so that's a little bit limiting, at least for me, as I don't speak German. But let's take a look at some of the pictures here. Here is one side to side, and it doesn't say how many pages are there in this booklet. It doesn't have any like page number, but I think it's probably like around 20 pages. And finally, here is the media book. You can see there both sides, and here both of the disc. Here is the 4K and this one is the Blu-ray. So for the picture quality, this is actually the same transfer as the Criterion release. Both releases came out like a very similar time, just like the Criterion came out for the US market and Studio Canal for European market. As it is the same release, if you're interested in the picture quality, I'll suggest you to go and check out my review for the Criterion release. There you will find more detail about the picture quality. But one thing to highlight here is that the bonus features is different between these two releases. So let's take a quick look here from the case. Let's take a look at the bonus features. So there are 3 featurettes, one of them called Back to Mulholland Drive, also on the Road to Mulholland Drive and in the Blue Box. There's also an interview with Lara Harning, and also 2 others, one with Mary Sweeney and another one with Angelo Badalamenti. And here it actually says the booklet is 36 pages long. On the other hand, for the extras of the Criterion release, I think the biggest thing missing in the Studio Canal ones, there's an interview with David Lynch and also another one with Naomi Watts. Besides that, this one includes the trailer that is not present in the Studio Canal one, but as I always say, that's not a big deal. It's almost like it doesn't count as a bonus feature because you can easily find those on YouTube. And of course, there are some more differences regarding the languages and regions, so let's mention those real quick. So the Studio Canal release has actually 3 audio tracks. One of them, of course, the original in English, but there's also a German and a French one. All of them DTS HD 5.1. Now for the subtitles, it's the same set of languages, German, English, and French. And just like in the Criterion release, this also features Dolby Vision. Now the Blu-ray in this set is region B, while the one in the Criterion release was region A. So definitely a very nice release to consider, depending, I don't know, if you're like a Criterion collector, maybe you will prefer the other one, but you need to consider that the extras come in the Blu-ray disc, which is region A, so if you're in Europe, that can be a little difficult to watch if you don't have a multi-region player. On the other hand, here with the Studio Canal one, you get a region B disc with all the bonus features. I mean, all the bonus features, because they are not the same on both releases. So if you want to have all of them, you probably will need to double dip in this case, but of course, that's up to you. Oh, and one thing I forgot to mention that also happens in the Criterion release is that the movie, the film, is not tracked. So you cannot skip chapters or like go to half of the movie if you want, just by using the chapters as you normally do on most releases. Here it's just like one track of the whole length. So if you wanna get to half of the movie, you just have to fast forward using, I don't know, whatever speed your player supports, 16, 32, whatever, but it doesn't have tracks. So that can be a little annoying. It's something that I found a little disappointing of the Criterion version, but it's also present here. And one last thing, if I'm allowed to complain about this release, is that this is a massive box, but when you look at the content of it, actually, like, you see, all the content would have fit in this, like 2 centimeters. So the whole box is just too big, and like half of it is empty. And sure, this looks very nice on the shelf, or like even like on the side, like as I have it, but it didn't really need to be this big. So I kind of wish maybe that they would have included something else to fill up the space. For example, the one from Reservoir Dogs, of course, is a different context, but that one has an extra Blu-ray with a documentary. So that was it for the review. I hope you liked it. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel, and I would love to hear in the comments if you have any of these 2 releases and if you like David Lynch and other of his movies. Remember also you can find me on Instagram if you're interested in seeing detailed pics of this release or previous reviews. Thank you so much for watching, and see you all at Okie Dogs.